Hey guys, it's the History Nerd, and we are back with another exciting episode of Panzer Corps. And where we last left off, we were trying to finish up Kursk. We got 5 turns left to do it, technically 4. And, yeah, it's not looking pretty. But we'll see if we can persevere and actually get a marginal victory done on this. And, to start this episode off, just a heads up for everyone. I am headed to Waterloo, Ontario, and Detroit, Michigan, actually tomorrow. So I am going to be out of video making abilities for about a week and a half. Should be next Thursday night. We'll see how tired I am when I get back in. But next Friday for sure. We'll get back into the videos. So if you're wondering where I'm at, that's where. And hopefully everybody watches this video. They probably won't, but, you know, just an FYI. That's where I am. I haven't given up on this whole YouTube thing. It's gonna be a little while before I wind up doing that. Anyway, we're just gonna continue, I guess, with this crushing advance. Doesn't really look all that crushing. I think we're just going to leave this area alone for now. Well, except for this. Because that just makes sense. And then we can do that. That's what I'm talking about. Anyway, we should really be focusing on taking care of the objectives that we need to take care of. Kind of like this. We've got to rush for it. That's for sure. We can at least get our Tiger tanks across and get some sort of infantry presence ready and waiting. That should be relatively safe for things like artillery. The more guns we've got, the better. So, yeah. Hopefully. Of course, that T-34 could certainly go down there and do some damage to the gun we've got. But, I'm hoping that's not going to happen. We'll pull you back. Pull you up. Let's get a nice little troop cycle going on. And try and secure the southern flank. We're doing pretty good down here. I will give us that. But, of course, we could be doing much better. That is going to be going without saying. Maybe up here. Although, the Russian Air Force... Granted, it's been a while since I played this game, so I don't know if the Russian Air Force is actually something dangerous that we need to worry about or not. I can tell you what we don't need to worry about is artillery helping these guys out. And not exactly that big of a concern to get this anti-aircraft gun taken care of, but... we might as well do what we can. We might as well get you fixed up, too. Come on. Yeah. Now, let's see. Can you... you can't, but we can probably get you closer. Oh, come on. Seriously? Well, the chances of an attack coming through on Kursk here are pretty minimal, considering we've just got like an anti-tank gun and an anti-aircraft gun. We've got all antis, but no anti-infantry gun. We should be doing just fine. Except, of course, for up here. Up here, things are looking a little rough. But that's okay. You know, some people like it rough. So that's a thing to always remember in life. You need to be resupplied, so we will do that now. Oh, and that is almost perfect. Almost perfect. Like so. Then we can take care of you like so. And why don't we occupy those trenches, which should give us a little bit of a defensive bonus. We got some aircraft assistance on these 57mm Russian guns. And things are starting to look okay. We've got one objective left to take, and we might as well start shifting as many resources that direction as we can. And we'll set you up there in a good defensive position. We'll let you replace your losses, and we'll send you into the trenches where there's a better defensive situation. We've still got some, a smattering of troops hanging around here. We don't necessarily need to worry about those guys, unless they get crafty and go for Lagov there, which could happen. And I hope it doesn't. But we've got the armored forces to perhaps encourage them to not make a move. Still, we got one city left, so let's see if we can take it in 3 turns, technically. You went after the infantry, did you? And you retreated right next to the tank, did you? Granted, you have nowhere else to go, so I guess that makes sense. Let's get you up. Do a little bit of scouting. Oh, rugged defense. Why? Where are my aircrafts? We got a Stuka there. Is he in range? Nowhere close, so we'll put you there. We do have this guy who's done nothing. Okay. Can't really get you close enough to do what I want to do. Oh, hello. Well, that was unfortunate of me. No, let's move you back and actually take care of that. We still have a few units to kill. I'm getting a bit ahead of myself. Well, now we can move you. You've shot, so that's fine. Good. I'm going to move you back and bring you down. Do some good damage. 50% is a good damage number, I would say. We can get our mobile artillery up and slowly move those guys around. Really work on getting those anti-tank guns down for no particular reason. Kind of wasting some lives over on this front. That's okay. They don't mind. Yeah, if we can just hold this location, that should be okay. You see, well, that was successful. I didn't necessarily want to use my artillery that quickly. I kind of wanted to focus on the town, but the game does not let me. I was worried about that. Let's get you repaired, and let's get you motoring on up. And Pioneers, yes please. We'll get you next turn. And let's see. Well, we might as well capture that airfield. And we've got that taken care of. We've got ourselves a pretty good position in the north. Finally. Certainly took us a long time. But hey, we might be able to salvage something from this run. Was going to send this fighter down there. That would be absolutely the dumbest thing I could do. Let's see, can we get a strafing run effectively? We can. I like that. Alright, let's go next turn. Looks like that anti-aircraft gun has decided to return. I'm okay with that. We can easily not have to worry about an anti-aircraft gun retaking a city. In fact, we don't even have to worry about it. It is not a worry. Okay, so that's 2. We might be able to do this with artillery. Not quite. Okay. Let's get you up. Take them out. And what is that? That's the 54th, the 28th, the 6th. The good old 6th. One of my most decorated units, as you can see. Lots of kills, lots of stuff going on. We'll give them. No, we won't. Because they can't make it because they ain't got no fuel. Fine. What do we got here? The 37th? That's your town now. Let's get that airfield secured as well. We're not really going to worry about that. That's just wasted life. But what's not wasted life is annoying their anti-aircraft to no end. Boom. Just like that. And I think that should be the mission. We got ourselves a marginal victory, ladies and gentlemen. That's better than I was expecting, that's for sure. You are victorious, Air General, but unfortunately, this has not been proven to be enough. You managed to secure all your objectives before August, but the size of the Soviet counteroffensive is proving vast beyond our worst predictions. We have no choice but to abandon our hard-earned gains and fall back to the Panther Line on the Dnieper River. At this time, I also feel compelled to inform you of the situation on the Western Front. The Allies advance at a snail's pace, but this will not last forever. We are preparing a defensive stand at the Gustav Line, where we hope to deliver a fatal blow to the American and British efforts in Italy. Based on your success, we have given you the opportunity to choose where you best believe your forces should deploy. Will you continue to aid our efforts against the Bolshevik horde and reinforce the Panther Line? Or will you redeploy to Italy and fight the Americans and British? This is actually not a difficult choice to make, for a number of reasons. One being, I've just been given the chance to remove myself from the Eastern Front. I can't imagine of any commander in World War II, in the German army, who would say, "No, sir, I appreciate being offered to transfer my men and myself to Italy to repel the Americans and British, who will have, in terms of equipment, nothing that's really all that concerning, especially when it comes to tanks." I use that. Obviously, the Americans and the British have tanks that we should be worried about, but for the most part, when you're facing a Sherman and a Tiger, things are okay. The Russian armor, though, yeah, that's scary. 2, fighting in Russia in winter is horrid. And 3, Italy's nicer than Russia. So we're going to go to the Gustav Line and help out our allies in the West.
Behold the Gustav Line. These fortifications, built thanks to the efforts of Organization Todt, are all that stands between the Allies and Rome. You are tasked with holding the line, as well as Rome itself. Fight them to a standstill here, and you will have drained the Allies of their strength in this theater. Should the opportunity for counterattack present itself, then striking to recapture key cities to the south will undoubtedly cripple Allied efforts on this front. Remember though, lose Rome and our defeat in the Mediterranean will be complete. Fail here, and we will be lucky to make it home with our lives.
That's very important to remember. We can see it is now January 2nd, 1944. The war is coming close to an end. Can we make a difference? We shall see. Our victory conditions: capture all objectives. Marginal victory: hold Rome and at least 3 other objectives. We've got an elite unit, and we've got new units as well. We've got a Panther A, we've got a little scout car, a little Panzer II, an 88 anti-tank gun, I like that, a Stug 4, a 280 millimeter railway. Let's see if I can actually use the language that I was born speaking. Railway gun. A 12.8 centimeter flak gun, and a Gepard, which looks like it might be a mobile anti-aircraft, which, is probably something I could do to boost my forces with. So let's take a look at the map. We can see we got some American units here, we got some British units here, and everything else is basically ours. So what we're going to want to do, ooh, look at that. I would have ignored that, and that would have been disastrous. They've got a little bit of a beachhead up north. We've managed to keep a hold of Gallia there. We got Casino. Where is Marome? Where's Marome at? It's definitely not there. I'm supposed to keep it. I should know where it is. I guess it's further up north? There's Rome. Okay, so that's obviously our place of last stand. And I've also shown an embarrassing understanding of Italian geography, considering how often I play grand strategy games where I'm staring at a map primarily of Europe. Especially in Victoria, too. Oh well, let's not think on that. Let's make sure we've got our forces all ready and waiting to fight. We'll get you guys repaired. What do we got here? A little Panzer IV F2. And we need to be repairing our Air Force as well. The first thing I'm going to do before I do anything much else with the Air Force is upgrade this last 109 to a Focke-Wulf 190. We're going to get the most advanced aircraft we can possibly muster. No strategic bomber, that's okay. I guess I could always go off and get one if I wanted to. Anyway, let's concentrate on our defensive positions, shall we? That seems like a good idea. We don't have a lot of places where we can deploy forces, I'm noticing. There we go. So, because you're Fallschirmjägers. Right, well, we won't bother with you. We've got a little bit of a port here to take. So we could probably do with a couple of infantry, and we'll give them a cannon, and that should be enough to secure this area. Heavy emphasis on should. So just in case, we'll give them the 8th SE Panzer. Because we don't really need the 4s. Well, we can afford to keep the 4 behind the lines. It's doubtful that they're going to have too much of an armored presence considering their landing. That would be redonkulous. Now then, with that taken care of, we are going to need to position ourselves into some good defensive positions here. Well, maybe not there. We can't have any forces in front of that. There. Hold on. We're not done with the artillery. Where'd you go, big guns? We'll do one there and then one final one there, I'm guessing. I'm guessing that's going to be a good spot for it. Let's see if I can find some of my mountain troops. Looks like they're all dead and been converted into regular infantry. I think we got the room. Let's go ahead and get ourselves some Gebirgsjäger. Sorry for the mispronunciations, as always. That isn't quite where I wanted you. That is where I wanted you, in the actual mountains. Of course, we could just buy a whole bunch more, but I don't think throwing in fresh troops is the best idea at the moment. Before we go smattering down too much more in the way of infantry, let's get our armor sorted. So we're going to want a Panther there and there. We're going to want, I guess we could go Tiger, 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 Tiger. We'll put in, well, where would be... They're probably not going to send too much in the way of tanks up this way. So we'll pull that guy off and we'll put another Tiger up here. So we got some mobility. We can do some flanking if we need to. That'll be good. Most of their armor is likely to come through the flats. So we'll give ourselves our anti-tank guns there. Really hoping they don't have any armor there. Although what we can do, because we're limited in where we can deploy our Air Force, we'll put our Stuka back there, and then we'll put up most of our fighter cover up front, I think. Maybe 2 there and 2 here. That might not be a bad idea. We can upgrade this 88, which I'm definitely going to do. And let's see, where are we looking a bit shy on the old anti-aircraft? We got some there, we got some there, we got some there. We got one there, one there. We could use some down here. And we could probably do to have some more maybe forward. That seems like a good idea. Let's get our infantry set up to protect our artillery. And I do have far too many pioneers. Who would have seen that coming? Okay. Well, we will take our most advanced pioneer unit and put them here. So we might be able to get ourselves a couple of cities. It shouldn't be too hard if we hit them hard first, I'm thinking. But, I don't know. Maybe there's too many infantry there, and then we'll grab... That should be enough to take that. And then, yeah, we'll grab one more fresh round of 43 Wehrmacht infantry on some Opel Blitzes, and we'll put them there. That seems good. We're getting to a stage now where I haven't played any of these missions, so now we're really going to see a true test of my abilities to lead troops into battle. Let's get zoomed in so we can see the damage we're taking. Really, scout car? Well, this is off to a roaring start. Okay. It's very safe to say I did not devote enough forces to that little harbor the Yanks have. This could get messy pretty quickly. My God. Yeah, take that. Well, at least their fighters aren't having any success on their strafing runs. They've got a lot of Air Force. Well, we're getting a new unit of infantry right away, which is good because we need to shift those guys to the south. Post haste. Yeah, attacking my mountain men? I don't think so. Yeah, attacking my artillery is probably a good idea there. Oh, we got some boat people. The Brits have already taken a town. All right. Well, we're off to a great start. Let's get some 43 Wehrmacht in blitzes down here to assist right away. We need to pull back and form a little defensive position well away from these asshats. At least we got our armor, which is treating us pretty well. We got our Stuka in there, which is doing some good damage. I think as long as we can, mitigate what comes up this way, we might be able to hold off with what we got there. I hope. In the meantime, let's get some anti-aircraft action happening on here. There is an awful lot to choose from. That's for sure. You guys, because of the damn Navy, desperately need to replace your losses. That should be a relatively easy kill. And I like it. We could follow it up and probably wipe those guys out. Good. Let's see. That is not a concern. You see what I mean? Tigers against Shermans, it's not a fair fight. And this is why we're in Italy. How is going to be the best way to do this? If we move you guys back there, pull you around, pull you up. We can take care of that and then position our Tiger to go against that tank. Those guys have fired. Right, let's get our Air Force going. So we got a whole bunch of fighters there that I don't really necessarily want to tangle with. What I'd rather do is go after the big bombers. Well, I guess they do have fighter escorts, so... you know... bad news for me. Have we got any sort of aircraft up here? No. So we got our air superiority in the north. I appreciate that. That is a good thing. There's really not much we can do. Well, let's clear this out. And thank you. And then clear this out. And we can move you back. Position you. Clear that out. And then we can hit you with some artillery. I have a feeling the north is going to be our best position. We'll just shift these guys north. Do I really? Oh my god, I was not thinking. I mean, I love machine guns. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think having all of my grenadiers right here is all that good of an idea. Especially not really being able to reinforce them. Okay, well, let's just shift you guys down. If you want to come across, feel free to try. We are going to need some kind of aerial assistance. Yeah, that's exactly what I want. No hits. Well done, team. Alright, well that's looking great. We're off to an awesome start. This shouldn't be too difficult. I have a feeling we should be able to push across the Sangro here, take Vasto, and hopefully keep pushing south into Campobasso. Well, we kind of just hold the rest of the units in place, hoping that the Allies don't really have much of a breakthrough. Do I want to move my Tiger tank there? Probably not. I could move that guy up just to protect things. And yeah, I think that is going to be a good place to leave the video for today, is it? There's still some more stuff I can do. If we move you like that and in and across, that's a good hit. That's a good kill. And what else? It's really the center that's the concern. And all the air. And this landing. My word. Okay, well, I'm going to have to leave the video here for today. Let's play save. Yes, please. So, thumbs up if you have enjoyed this video. Leave your comments, questions, concerns, thoughts, jokes, musings, what have you below. Thank you all very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.